Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Academy Master Series Chris Roach Pro Model Snowboard. That's right, Chris Roach has a Pro Model, it's on Academy, and we're about to see how it stacks up. This board features Academy's Micro Camber, which is a minimal traditional cambered outside the front insert with a very micro rocker before the tip kick. This is going to give you that load and feel of traditional camber without being overbearing or dominant, and you're going to get that rocker in the nose, which is going to give you a little bit better powder float and ease of entry in and out of turns. This board is available in 155, 157, 161, 159 wide, 162 wide. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that was a mix of blue and gray skies, warmer temps, tiny amount of wind, perfect corduroy chunder pow, heavy pow, crap, ice, pretty much every condition that you could actually get a snowboard into, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. In my opinion, this is a free ride board with a freestyle flex to it, and obviously it's going to be directional just due to the shape, so you do have a softer nose that stiffens up outside the front insert pack right where the camber zone is. And it's pretty much even all the way to the tail where it gets a little bit stiffer, and there's a fair amount of torsional flex, but nothing crazy going on there. Now when it comes to stability, you get a little chatter out the nose. It never really resonates back under the front foot. You'll notice this on a groomer. This is a board that's actually very damp on a groomer. It's when you're in really rutted out, crappy ass terrain. You want to keep your knees bent because this thing will tell you, be like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to stay on top of this or not. But it does. It does, it stays on top of it. You just feel more of the natural terrain underfoot when it's really uneven. So here's the thing. I didn't think this thing was gonna have as much snap as it did. Holy crap, it has a lot of snap in it. I mean, a lot of snap. I wasn't expecting this. That micro camber is very easy to load up. In fact, you don't even notice that you're loading it up half the time. You just spring, and that's kind of how it is. It's not that it's a reactive camber profile, it's just responsive. It knows that it's been loaded up and it knows it needs to go back to its natural shape. And in the process of doing that, it gets you in the air. Same thing can be said with jumps. You want to go off the lip and send it deep? You can. You want to be a little more laid back? Don't load it up as much. Basically, what you put in is what you get out times 10 with this board. This board has a lot of spring, and as I said, it really blew my mind that it had that much. Obviously the nose is going to be easier to butter on. You got a little micro rocker out there and it's a softer flex. When you get your weight just outside that camber zone, it actuates that rocker and it locks in. You're going to notice that there's a little bit of rebound out of it, so if you pop a 180 land on it, there'll be a little bit of fight, not a crazy amount, just prepare yourself for it. With the tail, you got to kind of muscle it a little bit more, get your weight out over it, just really press into it to get it to lock in. Now when it comes to jibbing, speed is your friend here, especially on a tail press. You want to have a little more speed and get your weight just outside that back insert and really press into it. When you do a nose press, you got to be a little more nuanced and subtle with it. You can end up going over the handlebars just because of that rocker. You're going to hit it and it hits a tipping point, and it really locks in. The good thing is when you're pressing with this board, you do have that rebound and snap to get out of the end of the feature and just make it to the landing or past the knuckle or whatever it is. And when you get sideways on a feature, you feel that micro camber hug it ever so slightly. You feel locked in, but you don't feel that you're stuck in there, if that makes sense to most of you. You can just feel it cradle around, it'll get you to the end of the feature, and then it springs right back out. But as mentioned, a little bit of speed is your friend with this board. So here's the thing about carving on this board. It feels like a board you've been on 100+ days. You know every little micro movement you need to get it to engage how you want. It engages just outside the front foot, but then it drives from under and inside that front foot all the way back through the tail. It's a board that you can ankle steer if you want to and be laid back, or you can drive your knee into the center, get it to bend, and really get it to swoop a turn right or left. You want to lay it down and get deep, you can, and it will grip. The beauty of Vario Power Grip or Vario Side Cut or whatever the hell they're calling it these days is when it's on camber and it's right underfoot, it works so much better than when it's on that bullshit RC technology. Yeah, I'm saying it. It does actually work better. You notice that it grips and feels locked in. This is a board you can slingshot in and out of turns, especially powering off that tail, or you can be laid back and just swoop from side to side. That's the beauty of this board. Short, tight, quick carves or setup turns, and then going on to everything else, you don't have a problem with it. This board likes being on edge and it likes railing a turn. So who's this board for? The do-it-all guy that's going to be on a directional board. So I was very pleasantly surprised with this board. Between the snap and how it actually rides on edge, wasn't really expecting it to be this well-balanced of a board, but it was. I liked it. You can rail a turn with it. It feels locked in. It's playful where it counts. You want to go in the park, hit a couple rails, hit some jumps, maybe take it in the mini pipe, fine. You want to go butter across a volcano or a butter pad? Sure, you can do it. Maybe you just want to go ride some POW. And that's where that tip shape comes in. It actually funnels snow out perfectly and allows that nose to get up on top and float. I got it into some deep pockets that were about knee deep, a little bit heavier stuff. No problem at all riding this board. And overall, this is a good board. And I think that a lot of rad dads, especially those that know who Chris Roach are, should be looking at this. Comparable boards: the Telos Mike Ranquit, the Karua Auto, the GNU Anti-Gravity. This has been my review of the Academy Master. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of these videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you just want to help us grow out what we're capable of doing over here, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.